Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're dedicating our time to just one vessel, but what a vessel it is. The 83.5-meter feedship superyacht, Savannah. Our mission is to really explore why this yacht, launched way back in 2015, is still such a benchmark.
Yeah.
You know, for hybrid tech, for luxury design,
Right.
especially now with its recent turn in the spotlight, it just proves its legacy is ongoing.
Absolutely. Savannah isn't, well, it's not just another big yacht. It really represents a key moment, a milestone for the whole luxury sector, wouldn't you say?
Definitely.
When it launched, it was like instantly the world's first electromechanical super yacht. That was the big claim.
And it's stuck.
It did. And almost a decade on, it's still this powerful symbol of innovation. It showed you could push for sustainability without, sacrificing the performance or the sheer opulence people expect at this level. It really did redefine eco-conscious in this context.
Okay, let's get into the heart of it then, because that propulsion system is where the story really kicks off, isn't it? When Feadship revealed this, it wasn't just an upgrade. They were creating something genuinely new.
That's exactly right. They called it the breath system, officially. And it was absolutely a first-of-its-kind hybrid setup for Feadship. They were borrowing or maybe adapting propulsion ideas from, well, other parts of the maritime world.
And the goal was efficiency. Big savings.
That was the headline, yeah. Superior efficiency. They were promising up to 30% fuel savings, which is huge.
Yeah.
But getting there, well, it involved a lot of complexity and risk, frankly.
30% fuel saving on a yacht this big. That's just, wow, that's enormous. But like you said, it wasn't simple. They didn't just strap a battery to an engine, did they?
Not at all. The whole setup is interesting. They actually moved away from the standard twin-engine configuration you usually see.
Right.
They went for flexibility. So the core.
Yep.
You've got a single medium-speed Wurzelei diesel engine,
Yeah.
about 1,800 kilowatts, plus 3 gensets for backup power. But the really innovative part is the electrical side. A powerful 1 megawatt electric motor working with this enormous 1 million watt lithium-ion battery bank.
1,000,000 watts. That's 1,000 kilowatt hours, right?
Exactly. 1,000 kilowatt hours of stored energy.
That's a massive number for a yacht, even when this size. Can you give us some perspective on what that actually means, that battery size?
Sure. Well, the battery bank alone, it weighs over 11 metric tons.
11 tons.
Yeah. Think about maybe 3 large elephants. That's the kind of weight they had to integrate into the hull. And the capacity, 1,000 kilowatters. That's roughly the battery power you'd find in, say, a dozen top-end electric cars, all packed into this yacht.
Back in 2015, that must have been a huge engineering hurdle. How did they sell the owner on this sort of radical concept paying off, especially for things like maneuvering or, hitting decent speeds?
Well, it paid off because the engineering in the drivetrain itself was so clever. They used a single central variable pitch propeller, and it's big, about 40% larger than you'd normally find. But here's the trick. That propeller works right in the slipstream of a large, electrically powered, contra-rotating azimuthing stern thruster.
Okay, contra-rotating azimuthing stern thruster, that's a mouthful. Break that down for us. What's the benefit of contra-rotating and azimuthing?
Right, it sounds complex, but the results are key. Azimuthing just means that stern thruster can turn 360 degrees.
Ah, okay.
Which gives the captain incredible control for maneuvering. You barely need tugboats in port sometimes.
Right.
Contra-rotating is even cooler. The 2 propellers, the main big one and the smaller thruster one, they spin in opposite directions.
Okay.
In doing that, it basically recaptures energy from the water's swirl that would normally just be lost as drag. It massively boosts the overall efficiency.
Wait, I think I read somewhere that this specific setup, it wasn't entirely new, but new to yachts.
Exactly. The sources point out that before Savannah, this combination big single-prop contra-rotating azimuthing thruster had really only been seen on, believe it or not, Japanese passenger ships.
Wow. So for a luxury yacht builder like Feadship to take that tech and perfect it, that was a big leap.
A huge leap of faith, definitely. And the result is that flexibility. The yacht has 5 different operating modes, everything from silent battery-only maneuvering right up to a high-speed diesel-electric boost mode.
And the performance didn't suffer. Despite the focus on efficiency, it still performs like a top-tier yacht.
Absolutely. Cruises comfortably at 14 knots, max speed around 17 knots. And it's got a proper transoceanic range, 6,500 nautical miles. The efficiency comes partly from a really sleek hull design, sure, but it's that smart integration of the electric motor and battery that lets the single diesel run at its optimal point more often.
So they cracked the engineering puzzle, but Savannah's story isn't just about the engine room, is it? This is where, for me anyway, it gets really interesting. The design, the look and feel. Did that follow the same revolutionary path?
Oh, completely. The design absolutely matched the innovation. It was about breaking the rules. The collaboration itself was key. You had Feadship's own people, devout naval architects, and crucially, this French studio, CG Design.
CG Design, Cristina Garotti Bernardo and Marcella Bozzarelli.
That's them. And they were known for bringing a fresh eye, as the sources put it. Their background was more in high-end retail, luxury brands like Dior Couture, not really yacht interiors before this.
And you see that difference straight away, just looking at the outside. That hull color alone is iconic.
That Seafoam Metallic Green, unmistakable. And quite difficult to achieve, apparently.
How so?
Well, two things. First, they had to develop a whole new spray technique just for this paint. And then, get this, a team of 6 people had to apply it in one single continuous pass. No stopping, no errors allowed.
On a nearly 84-meter hull.
Exactly. Which led to it being called, maybe slightly jokingly, but maybe not, the world's largest metallic painted object. Just the paint finish was this incredible feat of planning and execution.
That just says everything about the level of detail, doesn't it?
Right.
And then the superstructure, it seems to almost float.
Right. They used these huge seamless walls of glass wrapping around the decks.
Right.
Instead of lots of small windows or portholes. It gives you that optical illusion. The main hull seems solid, grounded, but the upper decks almost look like they're floating above it. Very clever.
And inside, that same radical thinking, rejecting the sort of boxy layouts.
Precisely. CG Design wanted to get rid of straight corridors and square rooms. So you see lots of sweeping curves, flowing lines everywhere. The idea was always to connect the people inside back to the sea outside.
And the materials reflect that luxury, but maybe with a twist.
Yeah, not your standard teak and holly everywhere.
Yeah.
You see dark rosewood floors, yes, but also silk curtains, velvet, wool, lots of high gloss, metallic details that kind of echo the exterior paint.
Yeah.
And the lighting, too, was incredibly advanced, designed by Metis Lighting. They could apparently shift the whole mood using fixtures with up to 10 different colors.
But you can't talk Savannah design without hitting the signature feature. The one everyone remembers.
The Nemo Lounge, of course.
It's just pure genius in one room.
It really is the ultimate expression of that goal, connecting guests to the water. It's down near the stern, semi-submerged, right, with these huge glass walls.
So you're looking out into the sea?
Yes, but also up. From the seats inside, which are tiered like an amphitheater, you're looking down and out into the ocean, and you're looking up through the glass ceiling into the swimming pool directly above you.
Wow. So you get the sea life swimming by and people swimming overhead. That must be surreal.
Completely surreal. And because it's in a very stable part of the yacht, it's not just for looking. It converts into a cinema, drop-down screen. Imagine watching a movie down there, surrounded by the sea and the pool light. Probably one of the most dramatic spots on the whole yacht.
Luxury obviously extends to the owner's area. It sounds less like a suite and more like a private world on its own deck.
It really is a sanctuary, the whole owner's deck.
Yeah.
It has its own saloon, an office, and this amazing circular bedroom.
Circular.
Yeah, and right in the center above the bed is this enormous skylight. Talk about drama. Plus, of course, a huge marble bathroom dressing area. And it all leads out to a private terrace and the helipad. Touch-and-go helipad, mind you.
And the rest of the amenities, it reads like a checklist for a 5-star resort.
Pretty much, and then some. That 9-meter swimming pool on the aft deck. It's tiled with mosaic, apparently designed with input from the artist Cecily Brown, and it flows right into the main saloon area.
Nice.
Then you've got the full spa, hammam, massage, beauty rooms, a gym, naturally, and toys. Everything. 2 big 9.5-meter custom tenders, jet skis, sea bobs, those electric hydrofoils, even a golf driving range set up, and a basketball court. It's equipped for, well, anything.
So it stunned everyone with the tech, blew them away with the design, and then came the awards. It really cemented its legacy quickly, didn't it?
Oh, straight away. It was an awards magnet. The big one was Motor Yacht of the Year at the 2016 World Superyacht Awards. That's the top prize.
The Oscars of yachting, basically.
Kind of, yeah. And it wasn't just that. Multiple showboats design awards, too, for exterior styling, interior layout, and significantly for holistic design. That one showed the judges saw the whole package, how everything worked together. It confirmed the total impact it had.
And it stayed with its original owner, the late Canadian mining exec Lucas London, for quite a while before hitting the market.
That's right. It came up for sale, I think, late 2023 and then sold in May 2025. It was an in-house deal at Edmiston, the broker.
And the price? Always tricky with private sales, but what was the asking?
The last official asking price was $140 million. though some reports mentioned it might have sold for around $31 million less than a previous higher listing price. But either way, we're talking top-tier market value, a huge transaction.
And now, its latest claim to fame hitting the big screen, or rather the streaming screen, that's brought it to a whole new audience.
Definitely. October 2025, it shows up in that Netflix thriller, The Woman in Cabin 10, with Keira Knightley. Savannah plays the fictional yacht, Aurora Borealis.
Right.
So for loads of people who maybe don't follow yachting news, this movie, this murder mystery set on its decks, is their first proper look at this incredible vessel.
And the irony here, the bit I find fascinating, is the level of, well, almost obsessive caretaking during filming.
Oh, it's fantastic. You have this yacht, charters for over $1.2 million a week, right? Built for ultimate enjoyment. But bring a film crew on board. Suddenly it's a museum piece.
What were the rules?
The sources say they were incredibly strict. The film crew, about 70 people plus the cast, maybe 20, and the yacht's own crew of 25. Nobody could wear shoes inside.
No shoes?
Nope. And no eating, no drinking, not even resting on the furniture.
So you're telling me Keira Knightley couldn't just, like, flop onto one of those velvet sofas between takes?
Apparently not. According to the reports, absolutely forbidden. And to protect those amazing floors and fixtures, cameras had to be handheld. No tripods allowed.
Handheld only. Imagine shooting a thriller like that.
Exactly. The logistics, the pressure. Trying to film a complex movie while terrified of scuffing the world's biggest metallic paint job or spilling something on irreplaceable silk, it just speaks volumes about the level of perfection demanded at this ultra-luxury level.
So wrapping this up, what does Savannah tell us about the industry now? It feels like proof that really pioneering tech, that hybrid system, earns a legacy that outlasts, just being the latest thing. It showed sustainability could be desirable, even profitable at this level.
That is the absolute key takeaway. That 1 megawatt battery bank, it was truly revolutionary back in 2015. It set a new standard for efficiency, for silent running capability. And you can see the direct line from Savannah to today's cutting-edge project.
Like Feadship's latest.
Exactly. Look at Valor, their new 79.5-meter Explorer yacht. It's aiming for zero-emission cruising, and it's described as having 5 times the electrical power supply of Savannah.
5 times?
It just proves Savannah wasn't some one-off experiment. It was the essential, maybe high-risk first step. It laid the foundation that these current massive leaps in sustainable, large yachting are built on.
It really did change the game. Okay, here's a final thought for you, something to mull over. We know Savannah had a major refit in 2020, and part of that, costing upwards of €9 million, was a full repaint of that unique seafoam green hull.
Right, keeping that unique look perfect.
So think about that cost $9 million plus just to maintain one aesthetic detail. How does that compare in your mind to the initial investment in that groundbreaking hybrid technology? And what does that balance maybe tell us about how we define luxury today? Is it more about the visible perfection or the unseen, complex sustainability underneath?
That's a really fascinating question. The cost of beauty versus the cost of innovation. And I think, as you said earlier, Savannah marked the point where those two things, sustainability and luxury, really started to merge, becoming intertwined as desirable features, not just hidden specs. That change started right there.
It certainly feels like it. Well, if you haven't seen it, you really should look up photos of Savannah. That metallic green, and especially that unbelievable Nemo Lounge. Worth seeing. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.